So I'm in my mom's kitchen, and a little background, my mom and I both love to cook. However, things have changed from my mom recently, and now we have to make the kitchen more wheelchair accessible. So let me start by showing you the kitchen as it is right now. So here we are in my mom's kitchen. This is the house that I grew up in. And as you can see, she has collected about 35 years worth of belongings, and they are all in these drawers and cupboards. And this is not ideal because she needs to be able to easily reach all of these things. This is my very easy to use keep sheet. What is a keep sheet, you ask? Everything on here is what you need to keep in your kitchen. If it's not on this list, I assure you, you don't need it. How can I be so confident that you don't need it? Well, I ran a home-based vegan gluten-free catering company where I would make over 100 bowls of soup a day, and I only used what was on this list. So it can be done. Two ways to get a copy of this keep sheet. One is to go into the description of this video and click on the link and download it. And the second way is to buy a copy of my brand new book, The Busy Mom's Guide to a Clean Kitchen. So my mom really enjoys making food for other people. So we do have to consider that a little bit and have a little bit of extra Tupperware and such so that she can bring food to her favorite people, me. Done is I just got a cardboard box and I filled it full of one shelf worth of stuff, and then I got a recycle bag, a garbage bag, and a donate bag, because she wants to keep all of it, of course, but we can't because we need to be able to easily reach into the cupboard and grab it. And as you guys saw, it was a little cluttered. So she already said, Fiona, I need that Tupperware because I need to make you food and send it home with you. So I let her know that we've already talked about that, and we are going to keep the Tupperware, but we're only going to keep enough that fits nicely in the cupboard. She also let me know that some of the Tupperware isn't hers. So I know that this is a problem with a lot of you guys. There's stuff in your house that isn't yours. So what we're going to do is we're going to box that up and give it back to the original owner. We are on the third item that we've come across, and my mom and I are debating about whether we should keep or donate this one. So I have problems with my wrists, and it's really hard for me to open containers. So I'm saying this is a donate because if I can't open it easily, I don't think anyone can. You have things that need to be airtight so that the little pests don't get in there. That what I do, and you'll see this in my book that's being released next month, is I only have certain pantry items that I keep. And I have containers for all of them. So when that container is empty, I know that I need to replace that at the grocery store. So guys, get rid of it. She says, this is from my Easy Bake Oven, my first cooking experience as a kid. And Mom's saying get rid of it because it's got rust on it. But I just had to share that one with you. And why are we getting rid of it, Mom?
Because I don't buy nutmeg in whole form. I buy it already grated.
Okay, did you ever buy it in whole form?
No.
So why did you buy this?
I think
Because it's super cute, that's why! Guys, I found a mandolin, and it's the exact same one that you'll see me using in my kitchen. I love it. And I asked my mom, does she use this? Mom, do you use this?
French onion soup makes wonderful ones. Makes great slices for scalloped potatoes.
Okay.
And yes, I use it.
And she said, and it's the only one I have, I think. My mom makes the best French onion soup you've ever had in your entire life, and I worked as a professional chef, and I would call her and ask her how to make French onion soup, and then the people that I served said it was the best that they'd ever had in their entire life. Very significant statement, seeing as the people I was cooking for were in their 90s. So in 90 years, they had never had a better French onion soup than my mom's. We went through all that stuff, and yeah, we're just waiting and seeing. We decided that we're going to make a gigantic pile of Tupperware that is in good shape and has good fitting lids before we make any life-changing decisions about what Tupperware to keep. And we did make some donation decisions as well. So now we are on to the next pile of stuff. Just wanted to show you before we start going through it. This is one shelf in the cupboard, and we are making fantastic time here, guys. We're doing really well. I'm very proud of my mom. This is hard work. So one day I'm going to declutter somebody's kitchen and they're going to be okay with me putting them on camera, but today is not that day. I have joined so many multi-level marketing companies, and Cutco was the first one that I joined, and my mom, no matter what I sell, she always supports me. So that is probably why her house is so full of stuff, because I am addicted to multi-level marketing, and she supports me. So here we have 3 Cutco spreaders. Now, Mom, 3.
Fiona,
How
your
many?
sister also sold Cutco.
And when you do for one kid, what do you have to do?
You do
For all. Okay, so here's 3 Cutco spreaders, and they're really, I highly recommend them, but we don't recommend 3. How many do we recommend, Mom?
1.
Okay, so we have one here that's actually burnt, so that one's going to go into the recycle, and then we'll donate 1, and that'll leave Mom with 1 fantastic spreader. My mom was on an important phone call, and so while she was talking, I grabbed some Tupperware, found pieces to it, threw out anything that she'd already told me was okay to throw out, Tupperware that was chipped or broken, and this is what we are left with. So,
Is for fresh basil. Well, that's for cutting it in strips.
okay.
So you don't have to do it by hand. You get rid of it.
Okay, so my mom said, get rid of it, it doesn't work. And here's me thinking, I could really use this, you know, I like to make pasta, and this would be really good. And then I remembered, you know what else works really good for cutting pasta is a knife. So I'm gonna go ahead and donate this. So what we have here is corn strippers. And Mom, what can you use instead of a corn stripper?
You can use your knife.
Use your knife, guys, use your knife. So, the kitchen is clean. The living room, not so much. So this is our pile, guys. And I actually thought that this is the Tupperware pile. I thought it was gonna be way, way bigger than this. About 2 bags of garbage for our...
And a bag for Fiona.
And, no, not a full bag, guys. Not a full bag. We are on day 2 of the kitchen declutter at my mom's house. And today I have been working on the spices. So I just want to show you guys where I get my spice addiction from. So this is what is left over after I disposed of an entire black garbage bag full of spices. So I just want to show you the progress that we've made so far. This is before, but this is the after. Like, what a difference. And you can actually reach everything. My mom is a lot taller than me, so she can use these shelves, whereas I can't. Here is this cupboard now. Oh, this makes me so happy. Okay, didn't find a solution for the spices. So I think that's, you know, a Ben problem, not a Fiona problem. So we'll ask him what we're gonna do about that. And there's that spice cupboard. I did put some spices over here, moved the microwave so that the utensils could be closer. Look at that, way less utensils. That drawer, look at that empty space. This drawer, nice and organized. At a glance, you can see what's in there. What's in this one? Oh, simple, nice, organized. This one, believe it or not, can't really see it, is actually organized. So before everything was at the back, and now it's not like that. It's way better, guys, I promise. And look at that cupboard. Everything at your fingertips. This cupboard. Okay, that drawer, nice and organized. And look at that, Tupperware. All Tupperware has its lids on it. Well, not all of it. Most of it has lids so that when you grab a piece of Tupperware, you don't have to search for the lid. And that cupboard there is nice and organized. This is, it's getting a little big.
Just some of the stuff.
Just some of the stuff. So minus the black garbage bag, those bags are all full of stuff to donate that came out of those few cupboards that I just showed you. And I did take one bag of stuff for myself. And here's some stuff for my sister and my daughter. And that was all in those cupboards. Isn't that incredible? Day 3 of my mom's kitchen declutter, and all of this stuff on this rug here is only from one cupboard. It's the corner cupboard, so most of it couldn't even be reached. So our goal today is to pare it down so that we only have one of each item so that we can easily reach into the corner cupboard and grab what we need. So yeah, I put all the silver bowls together and all the pots and pans together, all the baking sheets together, and all the colanders together. So you guys remember that big pile that I just showed you of stuff? This is what it all boils down to. All right, we are in day 3, right? And we are one item into this decluttering, and my mom and I are arguing. We're arguing about this bowl. Mom, tell everyone why you can't get rid of it. 2 reasons.
It's a set.
It's a set. And the other reason?
I just bought it.
Probably the most dangerous word in the clean kitchen is the word collection. So a set can be broken. Like I was teasing my mom off camera. Look, it's gone. It's not a set anymore. So yeah, that brings me to my second point of I just bought it. I can't get rid of it. However, I think that she had really, really good reasons for buying it, and those reasons just don't apply anymore. We have taken away everything that was past expiry, and now we can see everything that is in there at a glance. Also, on top of taking away things that were past expiry, we took away things that my mom no longer loved or can no longer love because she's watching her diet. So anything high in sugar and salt, she's made the proactive decision to not have those items anymore. So yay, Mom. That's a big change. It is actually more difficult to change your diet than it is to change your religion. So way to go, Mom. We are going to make my mom's famous French onion soup. All right, this is the grater bowl, not greater than the one she had before. It's for grating. All right. So Mom wanted to keep this bowl and I wanted her to discard it. And the reason why I wanted to discard it was because she has these graters over in this drawer now and a mandolin. And I felt like, how many graters and mandolins do you need? But Mom needs this one for French onion soup. Mom already put butter in a pot. This is a problem that I didn't even know existed, was that the wheelchair doesn't fit under a counter. So my mom's already figured out the solution to this problem. She has brought her tools and food over to the table where she can easily, is there such a thing as easily when you're in a wheelchair? Cut her onions. So Mom is busy cutting onions. She easily grabbed a knife out of the cutting block. She easily grabbed the cutting board that was stored beside the toaster now. It is the best tasting soup in the whole world. And I have tried relentlessly to mimic the incredible flavor without using any dairy or meat or wheat.
Not possible, is it, Fiona? What's the saying? Never mess with a good thing.
So, Mom, how is your back and your wrists holding out with this? Do you need to be closer to the table?
No. Because I can't get closer to the table because of my knees. Otherwise, I'd be bumping into the posts under the table.
Okay, so guys, this is really good information for me to have. If I'm going to help my mom, then I need to know what she needs help with. Okay, so how many onions do you want?
Well, if I had... See, this is a nice big onion. You know, if I had 4 like this, I'd say that was 4 cups. So smaller onions like this, I'm saying they're each a half a cup, create a half a cup each. So now I'm going to need like 8 of those for my 4 cups, or even 10.
Okay, so we need between 4 and 5 cups of thinly sliced onions. And you like the sweet onions rather than the yellow onions?
It doesn't really matter because once onions are sauteed, like cooked slowly, they create a nice sweet taste. And I'm taking the first layer off because sometimes it's a little rubbery once it's cooked. And I don't like the rubbery onion in my soup.
The best time to make French onion soup is
the end of May, beginning of June. And if you're fortunate enough, and you can in the bigger cities, buy bigger bags of onions. I know in Manitoba, in Winnipeg, my sister just drives out of town to like Dugald or Steinbach, and they can buy the onions in 100-pound sacks, just like in the fall when you can buy 100 pounds of potatoes that the farmers sell right off their fields.
all right. So my mom has a tip for you about French onion soup, and it is that it freezes really well.
And it's especially nice in the winter on a cold day. And you can even make it for supper. Full meal. Have a salad on the side, some garlic toast.
So we've got all the onions peeled. Now we're gonna learn how to use this bowl. So I think that what we need to do is put a cloth under that bowl so that it doesn't slip as we're using it. What do you think, Mom?
Or a non-skid placemat. People would be cutting these big onions in half because you don't want the great big circle in your soup. Doesn't fit very well on your spoon for eating.
So how many cups do you think this bowl is here?
I think this is 4 cups.
And I would guess that that was 12 cups. So now you said, are we using the top of this mandolin or do you want the Pampered Chef mandolin?
Well, I was going to try slicing one slice to see how it worked out.
Okay.
And if not, I would go back to my usual, the mandolin.
Okay, let's try it out. What could go wrong?
Well, those little pieces will go nice in the soup. Now, which way do I want this? No, that's great.
All right, we're gonna pause this show and get her a mandolin.
It hooks right onto the bowl. See?
Okay.
And everything falls into the bowl.
So
and this is to protect your fingers because you sure as heck don't want to be slicing your finger into the onions and then into your soup. And this is to protect yourself from just that.
okay, so guys, I had paused the camera and asked my mom if we could take all those onions, put them in the bowl, and then use the mandolin on the cutting board. And she wanted to do it this way. So I just wanted to share with you that if you get 2 cooks in a kitchen, you'll get 5 different opinions of how you should do it. That is something that I learned from my teacher, Chef Todd Moore, and it changed my life, just knowing that there are so many different ways that you can do things in the kitchen. So what is most important, that it's comfortable and easy for the person that's doing it. As long as nobody gets hurt and the food tastes delicious in the end, do it any way you want to do it. So how's this working out for you?
Not good.
There, so it's better for Mama if she can do it on her lap. All right, guys, I just have to point this out. What this noise is that you can hear in the background is this ice maker that takes up a quarter of this gigantic table and is super loud.
That
And
her mother loves,
that my
and
mom...
she doesn't.
I just don't understand the point.
It makes ice cubes. The other one in my fridge only makes 12 at a time. And I love ice water.
I just don't understand. Just use ice cube trays. But it's not my
There's
kitchen.
not enough room in my freezer for ice cube trays.
This is classic me and my mom. Just the opinions are so opposite of each other. So I would just use an ice cube tray, and if I didn't have room in my freezer for the ice cube trays, I'd make room by getting rid of stuff that I wasn't using or prioritizing. But my mom likes this. And you know what, guys? It's okay to have different opinions. This is her kitchen, and if she wants this contraption on her table because it makes her happy, then she should have this contraption on her table because it makes her happy. And if I want my house to be bare of anything, then, and that makes me happy, then that's all good to go. So just, yeah, my point here, guys, is whatever makes you happy, do it. If only there was a way to make that onion smaller.
Well, it's called cutting it. But
All right, guys, we did a quick switch.
put it over the bowl, it'll fall right in.
So this is me and my mom trying to do something together. She's got one way to do it. I've got another way. We are not going to agree. It is her house. I would usually just do it her way because it's her house. And I like to just respect people and how they do it in their own home. However,
You're in a hurry.
I'm in a hurry because I have an important date to sit by a pool and lounge all day. And even though my mom's way is probably faster and better, my way is the way I'm familiar with. And so I just want to do it my way because familiar is fast. These onions. Oh, one dropped on the floor. I'm going to hear about that later, guys. Should we turn the butter on, the stove on?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I've got to find 2 teaspoons of sugar.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I see that, I see nothing but tears. It's so bad. Okay, you have a recipe book out here, and it doesn't call for sugar.
Well, I'm telling you, it needs 2 teaspoons of sugar sprinkled over the onions to help caramelize them, because you want them a nice caramel color.
Okay, 2 teaspoons of sugar. White sugar, Mom?
Yes.
Sprinkled over the onions before or after or during their saute process. Which one?
Well, you can do it halfway if you want. It just helps them to caramelize, and you love that caramelization in the soup.
Okay. Nothing could go wrong. Another one for the floor. And Mom's gonna say, that's why I said to do it over the bowl, so you don't get stuff all over my floor. That's her voice, guys. You know, this mandolin is super easy to use, except for when you can't see anything because
If
you're
they're too
blinded by the
small,
tears.
it's...
Oh, it hurts, it hurts.
Oh!
You know what works,
Chew
guys?
on a toothpick.
What works to stop the tears is wearing swim goggles while you're cutting onions.
Well, maybe I don't have that problem because I have eyeglasses.
Is there less tears with sweet onions, Mom, than
Yes.
onions? I thought that the reason why I buy cooking onions for French onion soup is because the cost. I think it costs a little less than sweet onions. I could be wrong. But I think. Okay, onions are done.
Is there 4 cups?
Are we measuring? Hey guys, oh, I just slipped on the onion.
Well, that's why you clean as you go. A good cook always cleans.
A good cook always cleans. Love it. Okay, so Mom is saying that this is 4 cups here. I am saying it's 6.
The more onions, the more soup. Now we're going to put them in the pot with the butter and put it on, I'd say about 3 or 4. It's a low heat.
I'm switching to letting my mom take over now that the onions and the crying is done. I've missed a piece of onion, so she's got to pick it up before we can go any further. She puts it in with cold butter, which is the exact opposite of what I teach you guys to do. I say to heat your pan and then heat your fat and then put your vegetables in the fat. And she says to put it on a low heat. Oh, she's got to clean this up before we can turn the temperature on. And whereas I teach you guys to clean up while your stuff is cooking, because we want to get this done in a timely manner, but she wants to get it done in a clean manner. So we're going to split the difference here, and she's going to clean that up, and I'm going to turn this on. Why do you put the onions in the cold butter?
Just because I want to.
So would you ever consider putting the onions in butter that had already been heating?
I'd probably start it off at a higher temperature as well. I'd probably start it off at 6 or 7 until the butter started to melt. And then turn it down accordingly.
What I try to teach people when they're in their kitchen is to make the least amount of work for themselves as possible so that they can have delicious food quickly. All right, so one thing that I would have done differently, it was if I was using cold butter in a cold pan, I would have just sliced the onions right into that pot instead of using that bowl over there.
You spilled onion on my floor and I wanted it cleaned up.
Okay, and now we've got the onions and they are sweating.
I want to give it a stir and 2 teaspoons of sugar.
Okay, so she needs a spoon. And she went for the throat hold on that spoon instead of just putting the spoon in the in the pot. Probably because she, oh, don't put that on your lap. Okay, we just learned a very valuable lesson. We can't leave Mom. She's fighting me, guys. She's fighting me.
This is how I have to do it.
This is not ideal. We are not looking at an ideal situation right now, people. We have just learned some very, very, very valuable information about my mom. There is not a step that my mother and I have not debated about during the cooking of this soup. But guess what? My mom makes the best French onion soup ever, so I have to shut up and learn. But the debate is right now, here's our sugar, and she wants to use her hand instead of a spoon to throw it in there.
1, 2. Okay, 2 teaspoons.
Okay. So this was another problem that I learned. I knew that she wanted to make French onion soup. I knew that this was the recipe she was following. But surprise, she wanted some sugar to go in there, and the sugar is up high. So this is a problem as well that I have to figure out a solution to. Do not put that on your lap. Listen, Mom, are you listening?
Yes, I'm listening.
I will learn from you. However, if I think somebody is going to do something that is going to get them injured, then I win. And we're going to not do it that way. Period. So now, guys, I am not going to let this go without being stirred while my mom is here, because every time I'm not stirring it, she tries to put it on her lap and stir it. She's got this towel, so what could go wrong? we're not finding out. All right, Mom, what else do we got the sugar in here. We've got the onions in here.
Now we leave it for at least an hour and a half. Just leave it, stop stirring, let it caramelize.
An hour and a half.
At least.
At least. Okay. And then after that, what are we going to do? Because we have
We're
to...
going to add the chicken broth, the beef broth, the bay leaf, the thyme leaves.
So we're letting the onions sit for an hour and a half, and nobody is putting it on their lap in that hour and a half. Now, what are we going to do while that's
We're
simmering
going
away?
to cut rounds of the baguette and butter both sides of them, put them on like a cookie sheet or an oven-proof tray so we can toast them. Get the mozzarella cheese ready if it needs to be grated from a full block. Fiona bought a ball of mozzarella, which we can cut into slices and put on the top of the soup to kind of let it brown and bubble in the soup after we get everything finished off.
Okay, so the first step is we need to cut this baguette and put some butter on it and find a cookie sheet.
I have estimated it out to be more than 4 bowls of soup. But I've only have 4 soup bowls thanks to Fiona's decluttering my house, my kitchen. So my soup bowls are in my bedroom in a tote box.
I'm gonna go look for soup bowls, and my mom first needs to promise, and she doesn't like lying, so she says she's gonna do it. She's gonna do it, guys. We need to hear this. Mom, promise me while I go look, you are not gonna stir this.
No, we have to leave that caramelize.
I'm scared, but I'm gonna go. So these are the French onion soup bowls that Mom had in her bedroom. And I think why I love French onion soup is just for the fact that we get to use these super cute bowls. And my mom was saying that they were kept in her bedroom because she didn't have room in her kitchen cupboards for it. So I want to show you guys something now. Look at kitchen cupboards that are not over filled, that things can easily be found in. So if we wanted to have French onion soup bowls that we love, we would have room for them. And they could go, say, right here. Or even right there.
We're gonna put a ladle full of soup, maybe 2.
Do you remember the first time you ever made French onion soup, Mom?
No, not really. Oops.
Do you remember the first time you ever had French onion soup?
Yeah, at the Airline Hotel. And they did the most delicious French onion soup with a tea biscuit for lunch. And we would go on payday to have it. Then one time when we went to the Sault Lookout to see, it was Sault Ste. Marie when you were in school at Sault College. We went out for lunch one day there in one of the hotels, and they did it really fancy with the French onion soup. They put like a croissant, stretched a croissant dough over the top of the soup, and you had to cut into this croissant to get to the soup. And I thought that was really unique to see that. So we've got the soup in the bowl. Now you put in, usually if it's a big slice of garlic toast, you need 1 piece, but because these are small baguettes, put in 2. with a couple of slices over the top of the baguette and the soup. And then you're going to heat it in a 350 oven so the cheese gets bubbly and brown, and then you're going to serve it.
Okay, so the French onion soup is done. Look how amazing that looks. And there's some bread to go with it. And it's gonna be so good. So here's a tip for you guys. I have left the handle covered with a tea towel, and the reason why is because I will grab that handle with my bare hand. I have done it lots before, and it has just been in the oven for 20 minutes at 425 degrees. So it's a little warm, and a very bad idea to grab that with your bare hand. How is it, Mom?
It's good. Well, I think my grandsons will love it.
So she is referring to my boys, who absolutely adore anything that she makes. But if she makes French onion soup or bruschetta, they will not leave the table until it is all gone.
Oh, that's tasty, Fiona. Very tasty.
So I just want to take a moment to say thank you for allowing me to redesign your kitchen. And I think that we saw some problems, but I think we also solved a lot of problems that were existing before. So I'll tell you from my standpoint, what a difference, holy, from outside. When you're walking outside to this inside the house now, it just feels lighter. Having so much less stuff in here, being able to easily make my mom meals. I am so thankful that she let me declutter her kitchen. So just a reminder that a lot of people cannot do this. It is super emotional. It is super exhausting. Lots of decisions to be made, and some people just can't do it, and they leave it for somebody else to do. So thank you, Mom, for not leaving this for
You would have had
us.
to do it in the future.
Well, it was way easier doing it now, for sure.
You know what your sister said to you? Just pull a dumpster up to the front door and go to it.
And I think that that's a suggestion most people have when dealing with a lot of stuff. And you didn't even have, some people, there's only pathways to their kitchen. So you didn't have so much stuff that we needed to involve a dumpster. But I am thankful that we got to do this. And so we donated everything to Teen Challenge.
Would you like to get Bree's opinion on this soup? Is
Yeah.
she around?
Okay, let's see what Bree thinks. Hey, Bree! Okay, so I've got my spoon, and I'm going to try some of my mom's French onion soup. And I'm just giggling right now because when my mom was babysitting my kids when they were little, and she would have a bowl of soup, they would all gather around, and she would feed them from her bowl, and they wouldn't leave until it was all gone. Do you remember that, Mom?
Mm-hmm. Bacon in the bar, too.
Look at this soup. Oh, it's not. It's just perfect. Hey, Mom, that baguette. It's not too soft. It's not too hard. So I'm going in. I can't get any. I shouldn't eat the wheat, but I'm going to.
There's no meat in it, Fiona. There's just the flavor.
I can't wait for it to cool down to a normal temperature. I'm going to burn my tongue. Blow. That actually... Hurry up. Cool. Cool down. I heated it up so that I could cool it down. Hot.
Oh, that's really good.
It's Grandma's classic French onion soup, and we made it in her kitchen, and we learned a lot of things about how Grandma... Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye. Bye.